Sonic Spinball, and I really don't know what to do with this information. How's everyone doing tonight? Hope it's well. Hold on, I need to adjust the audio properly so I can think, but also not drown myself out here. There we go. There we go. Now my luscious voice overpowers all that. Today's Cloudflare outage ended up being a boon for you because you had much more time to get project work done. Oh, nice. Yeah, by the time that I got to work this morning, the Cloudflare outage had corrected itself, or at the very least, it hadn't actually interfered with anything that I was doing, which is kind of shocking if so. I had the one boon from the Cloudflare outage this morning was the fact that I did not get to scroll Twitter this morning, which is just actually really good for me. So, at least I got to cut out another handful of minutes of Twitter from my life. There's better things to be doing, and yet here's what the content creation rabbit hole pipeline is like. It sucks. This guy's slightly too big for the chat box. It angers it. Ah, crap. It's not... Okay, I fixed that on the main, but... Alright, well that sucks. I guess the BRB screen is just kind of... Well, hold on. Maybe I can fix this. Hold on. Maybe if OBS decides it wants to actually have its copy transform function actually work, then maybe it'll actually work correctly. I was trying it earlier, and it just was not doing. Transform, copy transform, and then can I paste it over here? Transform, paste transform. No, it does not. Okay, so I do not have a very quick fix to make this function. That is a shame. Ooh, actually, wait, that offset it more. Can I undo studio mode? Alright, it got worse. Excellent. Oh, God, let me move that. Let me slide that back. How do I do that? Again, size, position, that back. There we go. I did actually manage to fix at least kind of the basic issue that was occurring, and that said basic issue was basically just that, yeah, as I suspected, Streamlabs just had a random update, and it decided that, you know what? Everybody's chat boxes need to be completely thrown off for some reason. Because when I went in, the font size was just a very small 22 pixels, which does not quite work. I had to up it to 44, and now it's around the right size. I think this is maybe about the size of before, though it could be a little bit off. It could be smaller, could be a little larger. Either way, it seemed like it was functional enough, so... Good enough for government work, as they say. Although this isn't government work. Thankfully, you're not all, I'm not reporting your information to the FBI. Your secrets are safe with me. That's what he says. And secretly, he's taking his secrets actually to a different government organization. But yeah, life's alright today. I did not get enough sleep, as usual, for a Monday or a Tuesday night. But, we'll power through. Things will be alright. Sure, we can make things work. Let me move things over so we can actually talk over something happening at the very least in the background. There we go. And good, you can still hear the music. So yeah, I'm gonna be playing Sonic Spinball off of the I have the SEGA Genesis / Mega Drive collection on Steam. That was just where I happened to grab it. So about a year and a half ago or so. So I have no idea how good or how bad the emulation is on this necessarily, but this is where we will be going. One thing I did kind of want to just goof around about though before starting the game, have a little bit of a just chatting segment here, is when I was making the stream announcements for the week, I had to stare at the Sonic Spinball logo, and I noticed how how fucking goofy it looks, and I feel like this is something that maybe not enough people actually take the time to stare at, because usually the logo is just oh yeah, I processed that in my brain and I'm moving on now. To me, this logo looks just goofier and goofier the longer you look at it. the font is really kind of screaming graphic design is my passion, because if you look at it, both the Sonic the Hedgehog, oh sorry, the Sonic, the Hedgehog, and the Spinball are all twisting in different directions, and like the font size keeps changing as a result. Also, the Hedgehog is in a different font altogether, which, okay, fine, it's, you know, not the key part of things. You can just call it Sonic Spinball, but it also gets sandwiched in between the two. Like, I've never stopped to look at this logo. It's a jank fucking logo. I've really never thought about it before. But yeah, it has that MC Escher vibe. Like, the stairs are just going in the wrong directions and sending you to, like, a couple extra dimensions that the game is never going to use. Like, it definitely looks just wrong. It's very uncomfortable. It captures, like, a lot of motion that is key to, like, the Sonic design, the Sonic brand. But maybe this was their effort to also capture the nausea that comes with playing the old Sonic games, moving at top speed while not being able to actually process the information that's, you know, coming up right in front of you. It's kind of disastrous. I do like Sonic kind of, you know, in a little action pose, huddled up underneath his arms and his feet. I think that works, but the rest of it, not so much. Also, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the shading of the bumper back there. It kind of looks like the ring is going, like the red ring kind of looks like it's going behind the yellow orb in like the top segment and in front of the yellow orb in the back segment. I don't really get it. It's kind of wacky. Yeah, Grim, you're an art person. You could probably explain this better. The letters are bent. The hedgehog part of the logo has weird type staircasing. The warping is inconsistent. Man, this would be a good example on how not to do a logo for a design class. Yeah, no, it's pretty jank. Like, I just so happened to also look at, like, the JP logo, which apparently this is the Japanese logo for the game, which, look, it's not the flashiest thing, but, like, this works. It's not weird or inconsistent anywhere. Like, it's, you know, the typing, or the typeface is all in, like, a similar direction. The shading is consistent, the lighting's consistent between the two, the thickness is consistent, the bumper in the background seems to actually know what it's doing and have its perspective correct. Like, it's a much more simplified logo, but yeah, no, the American logo just really does not look right. The American logo, it conveys distress. I do feel a little sick the longer I look at it. Yeah, the JP logo is just kind of clip arty. It's very kind of, you know, it's extremely basic, but at the very least, it's not this, which I guess I can appreciate now that I've looked at it for too long. SMH. I guess it kind of makes sense. The Japanese logo would be the one that gets improved, because I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know this is true, that Sonic Spinball was developed exclusively by the American SEGA team, because the Japanese SEGA headquarters at the time did not want the Americans getting their filthy hands on it and on the mainline games and disrupting the story. So we got Sonic Spinball out of the American team instead. So I think it released in America first and then actually got to release in Japan later, which would make sense. They would redesign the logo at that point, being like, ugh. Box art comparison for the various Mega Man games. Oh, that could be fun, yeah. I could probably talk about that. That is probably something that could be combined into, like, whenever I do a Mega Man games tier list. Like, that would probably be pretty good, all things considered. But, yeah, I just had to get that out of my system before we started, because it's... Once you notice it, it's pretty hard to not notice. Okay, let me reset mouth here, because PNGTuber Maker's being bad again. I think I am going to, next time I have some time on a weekend, I'm going to actually just put, like, the $10 down or whatever it is for Honk and see if the phenome tracking is a little bit better on that program versus this one. If so, then I might just make the switch until I can get the VRoid model finished, which didn't have time to work on last weekend, won't have time to work on this weekend because of PAX Unplugged, so whoopsie. Oh well. I'll have plenty of time over winter break, I'm sure. In fact, if I'm probably not even going to travel for winter break, which I don't think I am at the moment, then it would, you know, give me like 2 full weeks of time to just grind out lots of Blender optimizations. Alright, let me like my own posts on socials to give it just a little, like, eighth of an engagement. Alright, and there we go. Now we can actually get moving tonight. Cool. So, oops, that's not the right button. Okay, full screen. It's really weird. This game allows you, like, this port allows you to, actually, I should show this off because it's so strange. This game allows you to play in kind of, like, as if there is a TV in front of you if you, like, really want the nostalgia experience. Like, I guess it's an idea, but I think it's personally kind of ugly. It's not, why would I want this? That's pixels that I don't get. I paid for all of the pixels. I'm going to get all of them. You do love JPEG instead of gameplay. That's a good point. Oops. I didn't even turn the, wait, that's probably not the right one. Wait, that is. Oh, I couldn't tell because I was on the logo on the start screen. Anyways, let's actually watch. Now, let's have you watch the intro now. So, Sonic and Tails be flying in. Robotnik's weird sea castle is shooting them. One little bump, and Tails got scared. And now, Sonic is going and drowning without air. Bars. I can't believe I pulled that off. But yeah, simple little backstory. That's all it. I did not bind my controls for the games ahead of time, so hopefully my controls are correct. Cause, oh right, let's not play in this aspect ratio. There we go. Hopefully my controls are correct, so that way I don't have to spend too much time on the options menu, which has interestingly horrendous music. Oh, there's like a... I see, so there's a fast forward and a rewind button in this. I forgot about that. I don't think there's any way to unbind that, so I'll just... Scout's honor, I'm not going to be pressing it. I'm going to be doing my best to play this just as I did as a kid. With being the only game that features the Satan cast? Huh. Okay, what buttons? Alright, there we go. Yeah, I'm a little uncultured when it comes to the Sonic comics and such. Or Sonic comics and cartoons. I didn't really grow up with all that in my my media ecosystem. I grew up with anything that was on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, so like wherever Sonic wherever Sonic TV shows were, I was not getting that. But I only know my Sonic Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog because of YouTube poop exposure, and that's literally all I know about the games. So, or about those. About that TV show, that's the word I'm looking for. But, you know, it's enough to keep things functional. We can, it's, you know, it's the funniest version of Eggman and Sonic, so. Alright, but yeah, I played Sonic Spinball, like, when I was a kid. Like, the Genesis was the first console I actually ever had to play, any games on. Well, no, okay, that's not quite true. I played games with my dad on the Atari, as mentioned previously, but the Genesis was, like, the first thing that, like, I was independently playing games on that, like, weren't, you know, pre-owned by my dad at some point. So, I have, fond is maybe not the right word, but I have memories of playing Sonic Spinball, as a kid, and, never getting very far in it, but... You know, it's time. Maybe I can actually get fairly far this time around, you know? Last time I did get to the Showdown final level, when I streamed this over a year ago. But we'll see if I can do it again. And then we'll see if I can actually win this time. 'Cause this game infuriated me as a child. It was hard to get a hold of the controls, and it's still hard to get a hold of the controls today. And Sonic never really quite goes where you want him to, but that's also kind of the whole contrivance of pinball. It doesn't help that outside of, like, you could tell whenever you actually have to, like, step onto a platform like this, like, you could tell the physics are exclusively made for pinball. Sonic is, like, weird. It doesn't convey very well, but, like, he has a really slow startup acceleration, and, like, I mean, for obvious reasons, he needs some precision. He does not have a very high max speed, but, like, jumping also has, like, Man, that jump squat lag would really give Bowser in Melee a run for his money. Like, it's kind of rough, and then the air physics are also, because it's really only meant to be like, well, you can influence yourself while you're playing pinball, but, like, you can't actually, you know, move normally. It's a confluence of weird design decisions that make the game feel a little jank, but not so, like, you know, wow, unplayable jank kind of feeling. It's just kind of like, little... the controls could maybe be called sus. Yeah, but he doesn't also control one-to-one like an actual pinball. Well, how does an actual pinball control, you know? Like, there's no control stick for a pinball. And yeah, hello, welcome, Proto. I did not expect to take my first death already. I think last time I managed to not take my first death, like, right up until the machine, but... oh well. We have 2 hours to try to break through this game. Maybe we actually will this time around. Spinball is kind of... dank is also a good word to describe how Spinball is as well. It's dank in both kind of a stank way and dank in a great way. I mean, it's also literally dank. We're in a fucking sewer right now. It's pretty disgusting. Oh yeah, also, did anybody else playing this as a kid, like, did the, like, weird sewer gator down there, like, give anybody else nightmares? Because, like, as a kid, I was scared to death of that thing. Like, the, you know, the little alert stinger plus the, you know, the fact that it's, you know, an instant death if you get munched by it, like, that is frightening. I was not, I did not like that, not one bit. I think I was not literally well, I don't know, maybe I did literally have a nightmare about it once. That feels right. I don't know if it's completely factual, but it feels right that I had, like, maybe one actual nightmare about it. Nightmares, but you hated it? Yeah. Good to know I wasn't alone. The sewer serpent? Yeah, that one. Not nearly as much as the sewer and lava bosses. Really? Huh. The bosses of this game never gave me any kind of nightmare fuel. Like, I always thought, Scorpius is rad as hell. Like, Scorpius lives in my head rent-free as, like, amazing, like, maybe not overall boss design as, like, far as graphics go, but, like, as far as ambiance and a whole total package goes, like, I love Scorpius. Like, just the screaming it gives off, the fact that it falls to pieces in the way it does, and, like, the fact that you can just fuck it up Farmer Ted style by getting inside of its tail. It's amazing. I love Scorpius. Oh my god. Alright, now to face the eternal pinball problem of I can't actually get into the place I just hit 3 times in a row when I want to actually get in there. We're not getting in that bucket anytime soon, I can tell. Oh good, at least we got the track. Spinball would be open on Captain Planet polluted so Nickelodeon slime. Yeah, it is very... I mean, that description also really does just emphasize how, like, 90s this game is. It is like, yep, Nickelodeon slime, you're in a sewer, you're this rad hedgehog with an attitude, like, yeah, this is very 90s. And I gotta say, even as a kid who did not really grow up in the 90s, was just born in the 90s, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's undeniably pretty cool. Oh yeah, I probably should have gotten the emerald while I was in the bucket down there. I kind of forgot that that's the thing you're supposed to do. Oh well, it'll be easy enough to fall in the bucket, I'm sure. The roll boiler, kind of silly. Our boss looks like Eggman's being damned to hell. Yeah, no, I can kind of get it. Like, it definitely does kind of look that way, but also, like, for me, it managed to kind of be abstract enough, like how a lot of the things in Courage the Cowardly Dog are abstract enough, where it's like, okay, this isn't actually all that scary to me. It's just kind of like, okay, it's kind of weird, abstract, melty robot face art. Like, I'm fine with that. Coup de force. Great. Got, like, points for that shit. I think everybody here is familiar with how Sonic Spinball works, but for any lurkers or VOD watchers, I guess I should explain. So, obviously, we're as Sonic, we're on a pinball table. We have pinball controls and pinball flippers, that's the thing I'm controlling. I can move a little bit with the stick as Sonic, though he's kind of stiff as a result of the whole pinball shtick. Here, let's gently drop ourselves down into here. That was not as gentle. And our goal is that we need to beat a boss in each stage, but in each stage, there's also a certain number of emeralds we need to collect in order to actually unlock the boss, and so you kind of have to do a little bit of puzzle solving plus pinball wizardry in order to get them. The first stage has 3, the second stage has 3, the third stage and fourth stages, I believe, have 5 each, so that's what we're working with. And as is kind of expected for a pinball game, it is fairly brutal in the sense that, yeah, if you go down into the drink, if you go down into the drink, then you are, in fact, going to die. That's your life, and you have to restart all over again. I believe the only thing that actually saves in between deaths is your emerald collection. Otherwise, if you die, you have to reset, like, the entire table resets outside of your emerald collection. So, you have to be very careful, which is easier said than done on a fucking pinball table. So this game is, like, nerve-wracking the entire time throughout, basically. But, you know, it's pretty fun just for, you know, what it is, and, if you could just get used to the whole, oh my god, I could lose at any moment kind of situation, then, you know, it's a pretty cool game. Mud sphincter. Yeah, I always thought that those things looked a little bit strange, too, when I was a kid. Back in the blue area. They definitely did look like this was a ball of mud pooping me out. Because I was 13, or I was like 5, and butt jokes are funny. And they still are. Let me catch up on chat. I can hold myself here for a second. What even is the plunger the level supposed to be like a mud geyser? Yeah, definitely the mud sphincter thing. Roboiler reminds me of Bohemian Rhapsody. You're so right. There absolutely should be a Bohemian Rhapsody like video, but done with Roboiler. Late 2000s, early 2010s Sonic fan games tended to use Spinball sound effects quite a bit. Someone who didn't grow up playing Cluck or the US version of Sonic CD, Spinball's boss music was kind of terrifying for young you, huh? I didn't grow up with that either, but I guess I grew up with a lot of kind of harsh, distorted music anyways. Like, I grew up with a lot of, you know, the metal of my my parents' age, so, you know, it was being like, oh shit, alright, this is basically like, you know, 16-bit Metallica. I can deal with that. But yeah, no, I can see why people use the sound effects in this game a lot. Like, personally, this game has one of, like, the most iconic soundtracks and sound effects, like, thanks that I've ever heard. This, like, I frequently think of this game when I think of, like, great sound design and good music. I love Sonic Spinball for all that. Okay, I believe I now need to go left. Never get to the first boss as a kid. Yeah, I usually could get through Scorpius, the first boss, and then I was, I could barely ever get to Roboiler. I would just get lost in the second level. I would basically never... Hey, game, don't tell me I'm wasting time. I stopped to read chat a while ago. This is not wasting time anymore. But yeah, I think I got to, like, the machine once or twice, the third level, but not really much past that. Oh, God. What the? Hey, where are the worms? I think there is actually, like, a specific, like, there's, like, a little sour spot where if you actually go right in between the right pixels, you don't actually spawn the worms, and so you kind of just shoot right through the loop. Spinball's boss music sounds like you're gonna die in a brutal fashion. Fair enough. Well, let's revisit it here. About to actually kick Scorpius's ass. I could maybe see the that kind of emotion coming out, especially with the screams of the damned that Scorpius has. I don't know. I thought this was cool as hell to listen to it just like, you know, to listen to it so brutally die was actually like cool as fuck. So. Thankfully, Scorpius is actually a really easy boss, all things considered. Like, it put up no fight whatsoever. Yeah, I never got to Showdown as a kid, ever. I've only gotten to Showdown once, too, as an adult, when I streamed this, like, a year and a half ago. Context of the Mega Collection is a hand-me-down growing up until you lost it somewhere. No memory card. GameCube Mega Collection. Huh. Yeah, no, I was playing this on original hardware as a kid. It's pretty cool. Also, you'll probably notice throughout most of the streaming that I do not effectively use the single bumpers buttons. I'm not that pro of a pinball player. So, and also I don't have things bound to, like, my actual trigger bumpers. I only have... My current buttons are bound to left bumper is X, right bumper is A, and both bumpers is B. So, it's not the most intuitive design. But I think that's just because there's a lack of customization options, / I admit it, I didn't really look that hard. So... Oops, right, and there's also a rewind button, which I didn't mean to press. I was trying to look for the tilt button. I know there's a tilt button in the bonus. I don't know what it is. Well, whatever. I don't need no tilt. I do kind of find it fun that they decided they needed to include, like, just a genuine, regular-ass pinball minigame in the game that is arguably already a pinball minigame. It makes complete sense, but it's also, like, very cute. It's also funny how the first minigame table almost plays itself. Like, most of the time, the pinball is, like, not even near your location. Though I do have to watch it like a hawk because, like an actual pinball, the ball is made out of, you know, fucking molten lead and will absolutely just go right through your defenses while you're not looking at it if you give it a shot. Although I will say, you don't have to beat these bonus levels. They are bonus levels after all, but, you know, I need all the extra lives I can get. Okay, there we go. And Robotnik is down. He'll just left, right, and both flippers all at once. Jesus, that's a lot. Which also, I don't know if I can actually... well, I guess left and right is which direction you want to tilt it in. Alright, good information. Alright, good start to the fucking second level. Tell the game is American because of Mohawk Sonic? I guess? I don't know, I don't really notice a difference in his hairstyle compared to usual. I guess maybe because it's not like a bunch of individual quills, it kind of looks like one larger mass. I guess that's kind of what you mean. Gotcha. Oh, there we got you. Speaking of the other nightmare-inducing things, oh yeah, the second minigame with Eggman's big toothy face. I will give you that. That looks kind of disturbing. Is not the most pleasant thing to look at. But thankfully, you don't have to see the stage very much, so. Okay, well, I had an out, and then I missed my opportunity to get out. Oh, but I got an extra life. Sweet. That will help, considering I've already lost 2, and we're not even on the hard stages yet. I do love the aesthetic of the first 2 levels, especially. There's a lot of character in the toxic caves as well as the boiler. Like, I love how you have whatever these, like, toad-faced cannons are at the top here. And, you know, obviously the lava looks pretty cool as well. Alright, cool. And down we go. Down to the steam arena. I think that I can just make my way up here. I don't need to do anything else necessarily. Okay, lava looks pretty hot. Oh, true. Industrial stage, industrial music. Yeah, like everything fits the very industrial, steamy setting here. It's great. Also, the one emerald you have to, like, directly jump into, and this is, like, the most platforming you actually get in this game, which is... shows how jank it is, because this moment you're in ball form, you have no control over your jumps, and, like, also notice, like, look at the physics on that jump. It's, like, straight up, and then suddenly all your momentum returns to going one direction. It's very odd. A regular Sonic game, this is certainly not. Also, the spin dash is, like, kind of weirdly slow to build up as well. Flipped into the floor for a second there. Yeah, it does that. Kangaroos serve as the flippers for the level, show up a few times in the comics. Huh. Did not know. But yeah, forgive me if my commentary ends up being a little bit more lacking than you. I mean, I know I'm keeping things up right now, but it might turn into even more hot spaghetti later on as I am, like, frantically trying to keep my eye on the Sonic and greedily hoarding all of my lives. All that to say, my focus might be a little bit off. How foul-mouthed the bumpers are. Oh yeah, and like almost all of them have some kind of like little Growlix effect going on to there. Okay, good. That was right. This is the not the main table. Still get another chance. We fall off of that one. I will say the game is at least relatively fair, all things considered, as far as like, you know, not every there's not every table means falling off. What am I trying to say? Falling off of every table does not necessarily mean death. There's only a couple that are like, okay, if you're, you know, if you fuck around here, then yeah, you're dead. But most of them, there's at least a little saving grace. Although I'm pretty sure on the final level that saving grace kind of falls apart a little bit. I think almost every single one on the final level basically just ejects you straight into lava if you miss the bumper, so it's a rough level. The machine's, I don't know, the machine's kind of brutal, but I think the machine has like a little bit of leeway in the fact that like it's mostly an exploratory level. Like the couple of places where you can dunk yourself are places where you're not likely to spend a hell of a lot of time. I don't know. Machine, I won't say it's an easy level because I think I've only really played it a couple of times, but you know, like the one time I did play it on stream last time was like it wasn't too bad. It took a while to get through, but it didn't give me too much trouble. What would a 90s American rival for Sonic even look like? I think it would maybe be something that's it'd have to be a character that's also pretty aloof, but like not in an energetic way like Sonic is. It'd still have to be some kind of anthropomorphic animal. It definitely have to have some kind of attitude, though probably more of a sarcastic one rather than a cool sarcastic rather than in-your-face kind of sarcastic. And you know, Sonic also wears like clothes. Oh, oops. Sonic wears like, you know, no clothes, and so I think maybe his rival should also be wearing clothes. Maybe like an exclamation point on those clothes. And give him like, what's the other opposite color of blue? Orange? I think I know who our rival is. You cannot convince me that Bubsy the Bobcat was not explicitly made for the purpose of being Sonic's, you know, Sonic's alternate, or at least rival mascot. Oops. Well, I fell down badly there. No! Ugh. Thank goodness for luck. Alright, teleport back up here. Also, he talks about BDSM. True, Sonic would never do that. Sonic finishes too quickly to talk about that. Fair, none of the major male Sonic characters were close besides Eggman. Exactly, that's how you know Bubsy's a part of the Eggman army. Bubsy was intended to be a combination of Sonic and Mario. Yeah, that tracks. I mean, how else are you going to make your video game character, you know, be an appropriate rival for the other video game mascots of the time? An alarm. Oh, I didn't want to go down here. This mostly has Mario-inspired level design, but runs at near Sonic speeds. Oh yeah, that is true. That makes sense. Well then, absolutely. My theory, my crackpot theory, has more to it than I first thought. Okay, come on, get in the cannon, Sonic. No, not over here. I need you to get in the big cannon, so that way we can get out of here. Wait for this guy, the Pharaon, to move around. No. Sonic. Also, despite Bubsy being a cat, he takes fall damage. I've never thought of that. That's funny, actually. I've never thought of that once and how true that is. Alright. Back down here again. That is... Okay, so I was saying, you know, Sonic Spinball is nice for having, you know, the saving graces of, like, not every pinball table that kills you, but it does get pretty tedious after a while of not being able to go exactly where you want to and then having to, like, re-navigate back if you mess something up. It takes a while. Hi, Scorebar. Spinball in it? Sweet. You should try spin-mowing at the same time. I hear that is a pretty cool thing that the kids are doing nowadays. Obviously only takes fall damage because they added too much Looney Tunes DNA. Yeah, you know, that Porky Pig inbreeding program really was not the best possible decision. I don't know what Excel was thinking when they or Titus? Who is Bubsy a mascot for again? Oh, god damn it. I had no choice in that matter. First saw the Pharaons, thought they were like marching band soldiers, dudes, astronauts carrying staffs. Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're supposed to be either, because that's the best description I have of them as well. Something tells me this playthrough might not be the playthrough, given that I'm already down to 1 life, and we're still in the baby stages, so... Oh well, we have 2 hours. 2 hours plus some change in order to get through it. Accolade. Oh yeah, that's right. I knew it. An A sounded correct. Just couldn't remember which A-based company. Now, I could stop getting cool loops. That would be pretty cool. That would actually be even cooler if I could hit the door. His mascot's a fox. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Brain farts, as usual. Oh, shit. That's an easy way to get up here. Alright. Also, I never really understood what the Clucks were when I was a kid, either. Like, to me, it's obvious now they're fire-breathing chicken robots, but, like, I could never really, like, make out the lips very well, so, like, I don't know. To me, they just looked like they had, like, lots of fire on their face, and had fire coming out of the back of their head, too. I had no idea what the hell these things were supposed to be when I was a kid. But, like, again, granted, I was, like, 5. I didn't know what anything was. No one knows what anything is when they are 5. I'm familiar with Titus since you own a Superman 64 cartridge. I'm familiar with Titus because I watched a Proton John playthrough of half of it. Of the half of that game. knew about obscure dinosaurs when you were 5. Well, la-di-da. Somebody also knew the thing that they were going to be obsessed with when they were young. I mean, I was obsessed with my chemicals around the time I turned, like, I don't know. I mean, not obsessed is the right word, but I enjoyed chemistry by the time I was, like, maybe... When was first grade? Like, 8 or 9? Sometime around then I knew I wanted to be a chemist, so I've had that long-running interest as well. Yeah, I can't say I'm very familiar with many dinosaurs either. It's, they're neat, but they're not my shtick. Okay, now let's see. Can I get this right this time? Okay, just mash buttons, get up here. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Couldn't have landed on the Sonic, the platform, Sonic. I was holding left the entire time. Used to have a painted mural of a Masaicasaurus and a Yangchuansaurus on my bedroom wall. Oh, damn. Full-ass mural. That's cool as hell. I did not have that kind of art around my room as a child. I mostly had pretty plain, well, plain but colored walls. Solid color walls. And then whatever other things I kind of drew and maybe put up. I do distinctly remember once kind of getting in a lot of trouble for drawing with crayon all over, like, all of my wooden desk and everything. Because it was kind of like, kid, we spent money on this. Like, you maybe resell it one day once you outgrow it. Like, do you not have, like, drawn on it immediately? Oh well. It blew over. Harmless childlike fun. Wasn't upset at the revelation of feathered dinosaurs, though it felt like they're the last person to know about it. Huh. I didn't... Okay, I was trying a pro gamer move there. I don't know. Didn't upset me either, but I think that's because when I learned about it, I was like, oh yeah, like, I'm an adult now. Like, dinosaurs are a little bit past me. And like, okay, cool. It's like science. That's awesome. We discovered something through archaeology. You saw the updated paleo art for the Spinosaurus at the new discoveries. Thought its new look sucked. You'll have to do, I think in Discord one day, Grim, you'll have to do like a proper like presentation on dinosaurs or something like that. Did I say D? I meant to say Grim. Grim, you'll have to do a VC presentation on dinosaurs someday, because I think you'll manage to make that both entertaining and entertaining. No, entertaining and educational at the same time. I would love to watch somebody nerd out over dinosaurs, if that was their thing. Okay, thank you, Sonic, for landing on the platform this time. Dinosaurs still exist in real life, and most of them are bastards. True. Birds are jerks. 5+ hours lore jumping cool dino facts. Nice. And that'll be at a time where I can actually pay attention instead of having my brain filled with, oh god, I'm going into the lava, I'm going to die! Because that's currently the only predominant thought happening in my head right now. Bubsy 4D could actually get away with a pinball stage since he has a rolling move now? Well, maybe. Maybe they'll do that as a bonus thing. We'll have Bubsy Bubs Ball. Watching things, wanted to catch up with chat. Okay, actually, it's a good time. Felt the last one to learn that birds were dinosaurs. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. My science program at elementary school and such was decent enough such that we actually learned that fairly early on. It's like, wow, kids, don't you know? The closest living relatives of the dinosaurs are like the chickens. And we're like, wow, that's neat. So dino nuggies are dino nuggies. Yay! And there was much rejoicing. Alright, Sonic, no! Sonic! Why? Physics in this goddamn game. Could do that again. More fossil stuff in your personal collection, that'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. you know, you are an adult. Well, I don't know how much expendable income you have, but, you know, maybe that's something when you have some expendable income, you could do something with that. I know my expendable income sometimes goes towards cool rocks. I like collecting rocks because of how it, you know, being like, this rock relates to chemistry. This is a big blue piece of barium sulfate, and that's cool just because I know what its chemical makeup is. Or sometimes it's more like, actually, this structure is cool because of, like, well, you know, this thing is cool because of the elements that comprise it. Like, I actually am one of those chemistry nerds who do have a favorite mineral, one that I do not own, because it is, fairly expensive, all things considered. It doesn't come from many places, isn't mined in many places in the world, but my favorite one is, Sparrowlight, Platinum Arsenide. It's this kind of blood red, gem that, is interesting for the kind of formal chemical description you might give it, where when we was talking about oxidation states and electronegativities the other day on stream, it's one of the few things I can few minerals I can think of that has like a kind of an inverse oxidation state setup, where the non-metal, the arsenic in there, is actually, if you're just going purely by the numbers, which are probably not a completely accurate description of the world, but I'm going to pretend they are because it's more fun that way. The formal oxidation state of the non-metal would actually be positive, while the metal would be negative. This is unique for the fact that usually metals are taking on the positive charge role, because as metals, they are metals because they don't like to have electrons very much. But this is one of the rare cases where, formally, technically, the platinum would have the electron, so the extra electron between them, so hooray, science. Francium would be a fun thing to own if I could own more than, well, could own any, without it just decaying instantly, or costing, like, $20 billion to have, like, a microgram of it. Yeah, money on that. Yeah, expendable income later, after loans, financial responsibilities and such first. Oh wait, no, I remember what I actually thought the Clucks looked like at first. I thought their beaks was like a red scarf of some kind, and so it was like the scarf was backwards, or the head was backwards, and the scarf was facing me. It was very, I don't know, on some interesting, kids have a wild imagination kind of shit. Barium sulfate, I could extinguish fires with it? Can you extinguish fires with barium sulfate? I mean, I guess you could. It is a solid powder. Like, it's not exactly flammable. Ooh. Usually, it would be a very expensive desiccant. Actually, I think barium sulfate is actually, I think in small quantities, it's actually a laxative. Also, hey, Roboiler. Oh my god. I think I kind of had a funny, buggy interaction there, where I actually managed to, like, land, like, just directly in between two of the heads, and I did just a shitload of damage to the middle one. Oh, come on! What was I supposed to do? I've literally never survived that any single time that's happened to me in my life. I was mashing buttons and I kind of moved up, but I literally have no idea what I'm supposed to do that. Alright, well, looks like we're starting over again. Back to toxic caves. Ugh. I might as well take this opportunity to reset my mouth, but yep, here we go. This is the Sonic Spinball experience. Okay, mouth reset, and let's go. Alright, well, this is at least a pretty good opportunity to just... This is a good stream for me to just chat about shit while watching some kind of game happening in the background. Although, granted, it's also, like, not a... It's hard for me to actually look at chat so many times because of how many times I have to... or how intently I have to stare at the screen, but... Perhaps what I said just made sense. Get some malachite or some plutonium. I think I actually have some malachite. Like, I believe that's like a green spiny mineral, is it not? I believe I actually have a sample of that at my office. I also have a sample of, I don't quite have a sample of plutonium, but I do have a sample of uranium ore. one of the radiation safety people in our office decided to give me that just as a random gift because he saw that I had a whole bunch of rocks at my desk. And it's honestly, it's not that interesting of a sample. It's just kind of it's a black and gray rock. It doesn't even have any like cool UV properties like I would expect uranium to have. It's kind of boring, but you know, it's cool to say that I have a couple of radioactive samples. If I had a Geiger counter, I'm sure I could do something, you know, be like, look at that, it's like twice background radiation. Ooh, spooky radiation. No, unfortunately, it does not keep me warm. It's not a Soviet-era heating apparatus. Which, hey, did y'all know that apparently the Soviet Union had once, when radiation was like a new technology, they made like a radioactive like space heater? They used like a core of plutonium or some kind of highly radioactive element to like just constantly be putting out a heat output. They're just yeah, heat output, and this was just like a commercial item you could theoretically purchase. I only know about this because I did see a video on how there were like a couple of orphaned sources randomly in the woods, and like some hikers like found it, didn't know why it was warm, and actually no, okay, it wasn't commercial. I think it was military, but it was these random dudes who didn't know what it was, but they were hiking in the woods and they were fucking freezing because it's Russia, and like, they just happened upon this random warm thing in the woods and said, fuck it, we're gonna die if we don't get heat. And then they woke up with terrible radiation burns, and much tragedy was had. Although I think the interesting thing was that this didn't happen in the Soviet Union, like, when it was still a country. It was just an orphaned source left by people in the Soviet Union for eventual Russians or whoever was in, like, the Soviet bloc, whatever country this was, to, oh, you know, just happen upon and have a miserable, you know, handful of days. I'm pretty sure they survived. Children's nuclear kit from the 50s. Oh yeah, no, those, like, old chemistry sets were fucking rad. You used to get so much cool, like, shit, and kids used to get to play with lead and mercury and, like, arsenic, all these cool things that, for some reason, the government says is, like, toxic for me. Why can't I purchase those now, huh? I want to purchase max quantities of arsenic. That seems cool. Oh yeah, and there's plenty of those radioactive canisters left out because no one really kept track of where they were, so hooray for orphaned radiation sources. Yeah, if it's exuding a heat source in the woods and you don't know what it is, don't go near it. You might think that maybe it's a magical artifact left by the wizards of, you know, your country's folklore, but in fact, that's less likely than you think. What's more likely is that, you know, you know, it was left behind by some military, you know, scouts 4 decades ago, and nobody ever bothered to track it, recover it, log it, anything once the country collapsed. Yeah, it is definitely a theme in former Soviet countries. They just did not keep their shit together. Alright, well this is going faster this time around, he says as he's about to jinx it, I'm sure. We had a D&D campaign where one of the characters had a radioactive gun that was likely going to kill him later on. Well, you know, that's not the game player's problem. That's the character's problem, you know? The character can die of radiation later in their backstory, or in their after story, as long as they get to give enemies cancer, you know, while the game is going. That's what really matters. Okay, actually, I don't need to be in this table. I need to get to the other side. Go. Do a switch. Lest we forget Chernobyl. Yeah. Yeah. And to the, you know, current landscape we are today, where everybody is so deathly afraid of nuclear because, as the joke goes, Slavs couldn't boil water. What a shame. What a shame. And then also people got like really scared of like 3 Mile Island in America. Like, I mean, the more you look into it, like the less really happened there. There was some very short-lived radioactive isotopes that had to be vented to the air. Should it have happened in the first place? No, but the math pretty much says that like there's no real chance of exposure to this. Like everything was fine, but everybody freaked the fuck out because Chernobyl just happened, and now everyone in America is paranoid of radiation, and it's now up to science communicators to fix the myths. Hey, could I, like, stop going into that sewer warp? Thank you. I did not mean go into the toxic fucking goop that's going to kill me, game. You have a sick sense of humor, you do. Water diluted raccoon. I'm sure everyone's probably seen the posts moving around the socials so far, but apparently, fuck off. Apparently there's quote-unquote evidence that raccoons are starting to domesticate themselves. They're getting more domesticated features like different fur colorings and shorter snouts. So we might have raccoon pets within a couple of decades. What fun. If I were, and I wouldn't, but if I were to be owning any sort of exotic pet, it would absolutely be a raccoon. Those bastards are so cute. I can't quite explain what it is, but like, the fact that they have sort of opposable thumbs, they're like kinda smart, and like whenever they roll around, they're just like adorable. I don't know, there's something about a little raccoon that just does things for my brain. I love raccoons. Wish furrets were real. Oh yeah, if a furret were real, that would absolutely be like a top tier pet. It would basically be like owning a long Furby, and everybody knows how popular long Furby is. I wouldn't want to own anything usually allergic to or unable to care for it. Yeah, I mean, fair. There's like, especially lately, I've been having the thoughts of I should get a kitten, but I also tell myself, no, I'm not getting a kitten because I have enough things to do between my job and stream and the hobbies, the ancillary stuff for stream, and like living adult life. I don't have time for a cat, unfortunately. So, one is... Oh, sweet, shit, nice. I'll take that bug. That works in my favor. Save a little bit of time. Alright, well, now I do need to unlock the bridge, though. I think one thing about Toxic Caves is maybe a little bit more of a pain in the ass than the boiler, actually, is that, like, you have a lot less control over what Sonic bumps into in Toxic Caves. There's a lot of things for him to just get random momentum off of and catapult. Whereas I think at the very least in the boiler stage, there's like a lot less. There's a lot fewer things that are like bouncy, so you tend to actually have a little bit more of a control of where you're going. Okay, well, at least I'm on this side. This is the right side I want to be on. I hate the Clucks. There we go. Alright. Blasted through that guy. It'd be like owning a ferret, except it's 5'11" and doesn't smell awful. True. Animal smells are also a very important thing to factor into whether or not you want to take care of one. Like, I could never have been a, I could never have been a horse girl because I fucking hate horses for how bad they smell, and also, like, they have a shitty attitude as well. Horse has got to be one of my least favorite animals. I just think they're gigantic assholes and they smell like shit constantly. I could not see the appeal of one unless I, like, you know, unless I was a pre-industrial man and needed to get things from point A to point B really quickly. I never would have actually bothered to befriend one of those bastards. Okay, not helpful. Sonic, get in the tube. Alright. Oh yeah, and then once you get the emeralds, the barrel down there starts moving, so that way it can be even more of a dick to you if you happen to actually, you know, miss things, miss the flippers and about to die. You've got to be fucking kidding me. This game is like pure rage bait. Birds. True. Archimedes, no. It's filthy in those toxic caves. Ugh. Fox piss is apparently strong too. Huh. Did not know this, but yeah, I could see it. Alright. Back to stage 2. Yeah, owning a bird would actually be kind of a pain in the ass. Like, that's one thing I also solidly would never want to own a bird. Like, yeah, it's kind of cool that they're, like, intelligent and you can teach them things. And, like, you know, depending on the bird, have a quote-unquote conversation with it. But, like, oh, those yappy bastards. They never shut up. It's not, it would get annoying very quickly. Plus, not to mention the fact that, you know, birds are just dirty. They poop everywhere. They eat, like, maybe 20% of the actual thing that they have in their hand, and the rest of the crumbs just go everywhere. There's feathers and bird dust that goes everywhere, because they're constantly, like, you know, shedding and preening themselves and all that. I don't see the appeal. Like, I mean, okay, I get some of the appeal, but I really don't. I don't overall see the vision. Sometimes the bird poop on their legs to cool themselves off. Awesome! That's trivia I did not know, and thanks, I hate it. I want to own birds even less now. Alright. Bust through the door. Maybe I have a bit of a better handle on the controls now, maybe? Optimistically, he says. Ugh. Okay. Oh, right, I see. That's how it is. Like, it goes from side to side, like, which side you can actually, saves you. That's what it's like. Do you know who else has a cloaca? Your mom. Oh, I can also happily announce the fact that, as you might have noticed, I don't have a pinned comment. I do not have a pinned comment today that I am on call for work. Because I am no longer on call for work. I had a nothing but net 2 weeks of no calls. I've never had that before. It feels great. Nobody needed my emergency assistance at some random hour of the night. So, yeah, I'm feeling good about that. Had the easiest on-call shift of my life. Now we'll see if I can do it again whenever the hell the next time I am on call. Probably not. It's probably a lucky thing of the fact that, like, it's nearing Thanksgiving and people are, like, trying to get the hell out of their research labs rather than stay in them. That was close. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, that works too. Did a co-commentary stream that isn't... Oh, hold on. I need to pay attention. There we go. Okay, and now mash the buttons. There we go. Do the co-commentary stream that isn't Doom related. You could do a blind react to casual geographic stuff. Could be fun. His content's very good. Yeah, I've watched a little bit of casual geographic. It's pretty funny. I like him. I don't tend to come back to him all the time, but, you know, every once in a while I'll be like, oh, that's an animal I'm interested in. I'll give that a watch. A co-react stream? That's actually that's kind of funny. I'm surprised. I guess some people do that. There's just not as many. I guess I was thinking of it, most of the people who do like a co-react stream tend to be, tend to either not be VTubers, or they tend to be like, if they are VTubers, they tend to be like watching a full-on movie together. And it's just like, well, sorry guys, we can't stream the movie, but you can go ahead and like pop it on if you have it and sync up at the same time. Yay for avoiding copyright. The react streamer one's an expert on the subject and the other's unaware of the subject. Yeah, no, that's actually it's a good concept for it is a good concept. I imagine it will very much be like when when we get to 1K and I get to do my 1K sub special of doing Undertale with Undercover Defective, where he is completely aware of it, and almost all of you in chat are completely aware of Undertale. And I'm like, yeah, I know this game. I didn't really pay much attention to it. Like, I know what a cat is. I just didn't know there was all these different kinds of cats. Probably also gonna be me when Ilvo starts playing the X series. Yeah, probably. Kind of shocking, Ilvo does not actually know that much about the X series, but eh. I didn't know much about the X series until super recently either. So like, that's how it works. You must be more of a classic fan, like how I was. Alright, well, got through these stages. Oh, I was gonna kind of say fast. No, I did get through it faster because I did also die through the bonus stage, so. Alright, already back at Roboiler. See? No, nothing was lost. I just have to not get shoved into a fucking teleporter to hell again. So an interesting thing is actually that, like, well, okay. I'm pretty sure that this boss, like, is more on a oh, fuck. Uh-oh. I have literally no idea what I'm supposed to do to actually not die. I'm just gonna mash, like, every fucking button possible. Please? Please? It literally doesn't do anything. It does nothing. It does nothing. I don't even know why they give you a chance when there's literally no chance for you to know what the fucking gimmick is and like what buttons save you. Like, there's clearly something you can do there because Sonic has a climbing animation. I just literally have no idea what you're supposed to do in order to get out of that. I'm sure if I just looked it up, I could figure it out, but I mean, I don't know. I guess there is some fun in that, but it's still kind of like, I don't know, it's bullshit. Maybe it's just hold the jump button. Maybe it's that stupid. Had no idea it was even there. Yeah, it's like, most of the time, Roboiler's not really that hard to fight. You just kind of get up there and like, just don't go down the sides, forehead, and you'll be fine, but well, every once in a while I get unfortunate and I get dunked down to the sides and whoops, into the lava I go. This game was originally going to have the Sonic 1 title theme? Oh, yeah, and then they didn't get the copyright because SEGA Japan, good ideas. forgot to get the copyright. Oopsies. You've got to be fucking kidding me. How does this keep happening to me? Okay, you know what? No, I'm rewinding. I just want to know, like, how the fuck you're supposed to climb this entire thing. Like, holding A, holding Y does nothing. Holding B does nothing. Is it like a mash situation? It's not. Chain unstable. What does that even mean? There's no fucking options of what you're supposed to do. It's stupid. Wait, hold on. Swinging? You're supposed to swing from left to right? What? What? Who in their right mind would fucking think of that? Okay, so if I do nothing, then I die because I go down. But okay, so wait, hold on. Is it supposed to be like release when you have like the most speed in like the middle? What are the physics on this? I don't know because this game is jank as fuck. I just need to do science. I need to do science. I need to figure out what the hell is the problem. How's that supposed to work? I still don't know how that works. I need to play on it for a little longer. I'm not supposed to yump because if I yump, like when I was falling straight down, that's what happened when I was pressing A. Like, watch, I'll go even back this far just to demonstrate. Like, I hold the direction, I press A. Okay, that time it worked. Fucking, I don't know. That's... You're fighting jank controls and jank design. Yeah, for falling off, make yourself fall off even more to the sides that are there, and then also you die faster if you don't immediately start holding left or right. What the fuck is this game design? I'm taking the rewind scum that I just did there. I deserve it. I deserve one for something that obscure and just unclear of how this works. Game design was hard. It was the 90s. I have to forgive them. I don't really have to forgive them for shit, but whatever. Either way, Roboiler is a non-boss that is a non-issue unless you just happen to be an idiot and get super unlucky like me and just go down the sides constantly. Oh my god. Hold on. This is why I literally was never able to beat the game as a kid, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't matter anyways, because it doesn't matter. Because I pressed A there, I tried to do a yump, I didn't yump, I fell. It does the mechanic there does not work. It does not function. You are doomed to die. Yeah, I'm starting to remember why I could never get past Roboiler as a kid. Has nothing to do with the boss being difficult. Has everything to do with the boss arena just fucking magnetizing you right down into the drink. And having the worst gimmick explanation I've ever seen in a video game. I haven't gotten this heated at a video game since I played Maverick Hunter X 2 weeks ago. Ugh. Apparently they made Sonic Spinball because there was a pinball minigame in one of the Sonic games, and like kids apparently really enjoyed that. So they decided to give kids something that they would absolutely pull their fucking hair over. And probably like destroy their parents' living room TV set over. And just put that in full game form. It's honestly incredible because as a kid, Roboiler was basically free. The less the level proved more problematic. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm just bad at pinball, TM, and so I die. I die. I don't remember the machine actually being all that difficult. I remember all the difficulty being exclusively just in that, like, how do I make this? How do I not fall into the fucking sides of Roboiler? Well, we can reevaluate it. The machine is actually hell for me if I can get there. At least being back in the toxic caves gives me a chance to say how funny it is that, how funny I always found it that, like, the game, like, notifies you that there's one of the Cluck enemies appearing with just big red text and a klaxon going off saying, Cluck alert! It's just like, this is overdramatic for a really dinky enemy. Like, I know it's, like, just the game trying to, like, tell you of an off-screen thing that happened, which is good game design, but, like, it's just very overdramatic for a nothing enemy. Also, crash heads that look back at the original Sonic Spinball stream that I did over a year and a half ago. The thumbnail I did for that was I did a very funny thing where I made myself do the soy face point at the Cluck alert happening, and I covered the L of the Cluck alert with one of the Clucks, so it said Cuck alert, and I was pointing at it. This is very funny, and that is. I didn't really feel like using that thumbnail again, not because I'm like, oh that's too offensive, that's too much. More like, this just isn't funny. This is not that good. For like a baby, absolute infant toddler streamer, maybe it was kind of funny. But I don't know, I thought my current one of is he cooking in the machine is actually a lot funnier. Bird Up could be a good better notification for this. It does make the thumbnail false advertising if I don't get to the machine. I was hoping that would not be a reality that I would have to face, but I don't know. I might have, you know, I might have an oop, there goes gravity kind of moment here. Depending on how things continue to go. It was going so well, too. I only died once to some random bullshit at the very end of the boiler room, and then just whoop, all lives forfeit to Roboiler, and a jank mechanic of trying to swing off of a chain, which I was trying to play around with it there, but I think it's also kind of a, like, swing your controller left and right momentum kind of basis. Like, you can gain a decent amount of speed by just holding one direction, but I don't think it's enough, and that's why maybe my jump was inconsistent. I'm not really sure. I might just be trying to cope with the game's bullshit, so... Also, does anybody else find the Toxic Caves to be kind of a mentally disgusting picture? Like, this is literally just a place where Robotnik is dumping his, like, nuclear waste. And it's, like, really close to a sewer. Like, I mean, I know he's a villain, but I feel like, God, you really gotta pollute the environment that much, Robotnik? Weren't you somebody who uses solar power for all your inventions? Okay, so wait, the chain thing, you just have to time your jump right after swinging, but you can only do it twice. Oh, so the chain doesn't come back. I mean, that's fair, but, like, time your jump right after swinging. So, like, actual physics perspective, basically, of, like, when you should have, like, high momentum, like, does that apply? No, I didn't want to go here yet, because I didn't flip the switch. Oh, I keep forgetting there's, like, actually pinball tracks there. I've never used those before. So, like, if I'm kind of do it, like, a little bit, like, after halfway, through my swing, then I should be able to get through it. I don't think Eggman's ever gone solar. Okay, maybe that was a weird random brain fabrication that I had. Seen worse looking places in 2000s PC games. Oh yeah, sure, but I don't know. As a kid, like, as a kid who was into science and like actually had nightmares about environmental pollution, I kind of felt like this place was particularly kind of just gross on a moral level. Not that Robotnik is exactly the pinnacle of morality, but you know, how dare you pollute the environment like this? Ironically, I never watched Captain Planet as a kid. I was just very aware of its existence. My clip through? Hell yeah. I was hoping for that. Eggman's canonically a feminist, but only in North America, because apparently it was actually a fuck up of the translation, where in the Japanese manual, it says he's a womanizer. I think the idea of him being a feminist, though, is just funnier. Like, I think I consider that canon, even though I know it's just a bad mistranslation moment. But I think it's just funnier if, you know, the guy who constantly wants to take over the world with his robots and prove that he's the best and kill this tiny blue hedgehog and maybe also cause a dimensional reality kind of destruction every once in a while, also really respects women and understands their plight in society. It's just beautiful. It's cinema. He's a suffering of animal manual labor to fuel his robots. He did until, like, about, what, like, Shadow 05? I think at that point they stopped popping out. Animals stopped popping out of him, or all the robots, so. I think he started, that's when we got the Chaos Drive technology. Yeah, exactly. I would sooner believe Eggman's just randomly a feminist rather than a womanizer, because it's not like he ever doesn't really have interactions with women other than Amy Rose, and he just kind of hates Amy Rose or uses her as a pawn because, like, you know, it's a way to get to his rival. Now, I guess it really doesn't respect her as a person, but he doesn't really respect Sonic or Tails as a person either, or Knuckles, so... Gotcha, Proto. That does kind of line up with the lore. Oh yeah, plus he also worked with Rouge just fine as well. You saw that, right? I had no input. I had no chance to save that ball. That was just the game saying, no, you don't get a chance to play the bonus game today. That one was my fault. The first one was absolutely horseshit. Alright, whatever. Let's get past it. Heroes started the trend of him using power cores, which is another type of chaos energy. Yeah, skill and luck issues, man. What the hell's up with that? Looks like I picked the wrong Tuesday to stop drinking. Airplane references? Anybody? It would probably land a little harder if I said it was the wrong Tuesday to stop sipping glue, but we're not at that point quite yet. I am huffing copium though. It's a serious addiction. Drunk Spinball would be fun. For you. For you. Which I suppose that is the job of the streamer, to entertain things while the world burns, but I don't want to subject myself to that. At least not until I can actually just beat the game sober. Once maybe I can beat the game, then it'll be like, okay, fuck it, we'll play the game drunk and see how far I can't get in the game. Cooling down bonus. I don't know what the hell that even means. I guess it's just points. Usually these things do something, but I guess not today. Alright, Sonic, we completed the objective. Could you please get in the fucking cannon? Or go through the door? Thank you. Start drinking out you finish liver sonogram. Oh, hell yeah, nice. You do have drunkard's liver, huh? Due to increase in enzymes, despite only having alcohol once a year. How about that shit? That's that's kind of annoying. And you said that was like, drunkard's liver was just like, you know, a very high amount of fat being stored in your liver for some reason, right? I don't quite remember what the symptoms were. That's an unfortunate symptom or thing to end up just finding out that you have. At least you know now. At least your liver hasn't tried to leave your body. At least Super Mario hasn't tried to steal your liver either. That's something you had to count your blessing on. Genetically acquired eyes, and yeah, roughly that. Okay. Yeah, thankfully I didn't. I'm kind of the weird lucky one where I didn't really inherit too many of either of my parents' genetic issues. Like, they're not like serious issues, but like, you know, I don't need glasses, at least not yet, and if I don't need them for another 10 years, then like, I mean, I'm way outpacing the records of my parents, and at that point, it's like, well, 36 years of screens will do a lot against your eyes, so it's kind of understandable at that point. Let's see, I mean, I have some sinus issues, but nothing too unbearable. I didn't get the deviated septum that exists on my dad's side. I just kind of got some of the... I got, you know, a bit of a chronic nasal drip kind of thing going on, but it's manageable without any medication, so it's like, it doesn't bother me. It just kind of always has a little bit of a sticky feeling in the back. I hate this level so much. I really hate the boilers so much. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have too many issues. My eyes, yeah, eyes are good, teeth are good. I may have a little bit of a defect in one of my teeth, but I never needed braces, so like, I don't know. I just randomly have a lot of health benefits that my parents did not. Torpedoes diseases. Oh god, that does sound very bad. You don't have to go into detail, but if you want to, fuck it, go right ahead. You have the clear of I'm not going to say, oh, it's too inappropriate for stream, but you don't have to fucking tell everything on a public chat that people could see forever. Don't. Yeah, save it for a voice call. Hydrangea. Isn't that a plant? Ooh, scoliosis. Yeah, no, that actually does suck to be stuck with. I didn't have to do that. Oh, I guess the one thing I really did inherit from my parents was shitty tonsils. I had bad fucking tonsils. I think I've said it before, but I had to, get a tonsillectomy, like, in 5th grade, and, like, the doctors were saying, like, hey, kid, like, your tonsils were legitimately the size of strawberries. I'm not even exaggerating. They were the largest tonsils I've ever seen, and they're so infected and swollen, and, like, this is horrid. I'm so glad we got this out of you. And from that day on, I stopped getting strep throat every fucking, like, 7 months or so. You swell out when you're sick or dealing with allergies. Yeah, I mean, that's what they're supposed to do, right? Tonsils are meant to inflame up and summon a bunch of antibodies for your body's immune system, but they just, I don't know. The rest of your immune system does work just fine, so, like, tonsils just not needed. Ripley's Believe It or Not maybe wear weird conditions, like the one guy that has a molar growing out of the bottom of his foot. Yeah, that's very weird how the body just sometimes says, like, actually, yeah, you can have teeth growing wherever the fuck. It does not matter. You want teeth in your vagina? Yeah, sure, we'll fucking do that. Just be unlucky enough. Go back to the death pits. How do I do this? How do I keep doing this? I'm gonna die to Roboiler again and we're gonna get nowhere this stream. I've literally not gotten better at this game since I was fucking 5 years old. It's genuinely insulting. Oh, Ilvo would be laughing his ass off if he was here, because he was warning me in voice chat the other night about, being like, you're gonna play Sonic Spinball? Have you played Sonic Spinball before? I'm like, yeah, I know, it's a ball buster of a game, but I did so well last time. And now look at me. Oh, please. Don't go. I don't want to die to the fucking basic pinball table again. At least let me die to Roll Boiler. Let me feel like I'm making some progress. Oh, hi, Ilvo. Yeah, I guess I did summon him. How about that shit? You the devil or something? Like from the Bible? Focus. I really don't want to die here. Okay, I think we can get through. Nope, that was just busting the door open. Fuck me. Alright, well, at least I have an extra life now, so it wasn't a complete waste. Just mostly a waste. Cool loot. Cool idea. Oh god. Cool sneeze is coming on. Sonic, please get out of the table before I have to pause the game. Sonic? Sonic! I don't care how many cool-ass loops you could do. I don't need cool ideas, I need cool performance. Okay, cool. Oh. That was common enough to get a name. Yeah, Vagina Dentata. That's pretty rough. Oh god, okay, water time. Drinking water. Hello, Ilvo. How are you doing? You're just in time for me to probably die to Roll Boiler twice in a row. We also, I did a little bit of scummy science, given that there is a rewind feature in this port of the game. I'm playing on like the Steam Mega Drive Classics port, and there's just natively a rewind button that I don't think I can unbind. I did some scum science, and I found that apparently there's the fucking coolest idea in the world that if you actually die, or if you miss the boss and you go down the pit that sends you down and be like, uh-oh, you missed, you lose, kind of thing. It gives you a chance to redeem yourself. This chance is the coolest fucking idea in the world. Because it just sends you down to a chain that you've never seen before and you've never experienced the game mechanics of. And you have to swing left or right to try to save yourself. There's no chance to get this mechanic, and also the game's physics are jank as fuck, so you're going to die anyways. Oh, great. Now I'm back down here again. Yeah, the cucks are coming. It's very funny how Ilvo immediately had the same joke that I made in my original thumbnail when I made this a year and a half ago. And I decided, yeah, I don't feel like making that joke anymore. Not because it's too offensive or too gross or anything, just because, like, I don't know. It was only so funny. It's been done. The flipper, I swear I let go of the flippers for it to go down, but sometimes they stay up. I'm not getting to the machine in this stream, am I? I'm actually going to be stuck forever in fucking boiler purgatory. Wasting all of our time, not even getting to the fucking final level. Like this, I can't believe this. This game, like, might honestly be something where it's like, yeah, I need at least a 4-hour stream in order to maybe make progress on it. Did I just die again? Okay. It's just the Ilvo was right stream. Yeah, I hate it too. Like, I did so much better last time when I played this a year and a half ago, and yet now I've reverted back to childlike skills. Like, I literally have nothing going for me right now. I've learned nothing in, like, the 22 years since I first played this game. I'm literally just as bad as I was when I was a kid. Bro thought he had his whole life ahead of him. Yeah, no, he's getting sent into the fucking medieval lava cauldron to be boiled alive like the peasant that he is. I swear to you, if I do get to the machine, I'm going to end up doing it first try. It's going to be the funniest fucking thing in the world that's how the difficulty scales in this game for me. Just you watch. It'll happen not because I'm good at the machine, but because it would be the funniest thing to possibly happen. Closing drains, yay! I need to get out of here. I need to unlock the plug. Bust the cork first, game. Yeah, I'm trying. Please, Sonic, bounce the right way. I really tried to finesse that, and it did not work. Okay, I know I was saying earlier, like, Toxic Caves has, like, the disadvantage of Sonic bounces off of literally everything. I just didn't get picked up by the cannon there. Okay. Cool game. Cool idea. But I'm starting to remember that, like, the boiler has a similar issue where it's like, you're not necessarily bouncing off of everything, but there's just, the tables are so small that you're constantly bumping into shit and, like, your momentum's always being redirected. Alright, please get into the fucking cork. Thank you. Alright, there is a rhythm to being able to consistently do that, where it's like if you hold right and then hold left at the right times. Like, holding right the moment, or the entire time after you've hit the cork, holding left as soon as you hit the flipper again. You can make that a quick, like, combo. I do remember that muscle memory vaguely from childhood, because it was, like, of course, the simplest thing I would think to do as a kid. But requires strict execution. Roboiler attempt 3. We're on Roboiler attempt 3, everybody! Somebody ring the cowbell. Get the Mr. Krabs gif out here. Maybe this time I can kill more than one of the heads before getting sent into the fucking drink. Which I believe I am on my last life. This game doesn't go to 0 lives, it just goes to 1. Can I land on the platform? Please? Stop it with the semi-random bullshit. Drop bikes, want to take a break? Alright. Cool. What is that game you've been playing? It looks kind of Toho related. Alright, get in there, Sonic. No, don't bust the bottom one yet. Alright, get in there. Sonic, you're not cooperating. Usually you bounce around and do some crazy fucking combos. Okay, no, you killed the bottom one first. Great, you made the boss fight immediately way more difficult. I'm focusing my ass off because I would at least like to get to the machine. Okay, Okay, I have to remember that I don't want to panic if I get sent back down the sides, because that lines up directly with the kind of saving catch thing. Toho fan game based on Super Robot Wars. Oh, okay. I've heard of Super Robot Wars as a cool kind of, you know, tactical RPG. Never played it or saw it myself, though. Okay, cool. I hit the things enough to where at least I have a safeguard to go off to the sides instead of going down into the janky lava mechanic. Roboiler also has this habit of trolling the shit out of me with the steam. I tend to always be at a bad timing. Also, fun fact, sometimes you can see there's a weird, like, glitchy pixel off to the right side of the screen. It's occasionally distracting me. There's currently, like, a weird piece of purple with, like, a blue arrow light on it. Ah, the enemy got in the way. Come on, please. Now I can't even get up there. Oh, finally. We're actually getting something done. No, I'm in the fucking cool idea pit. Are you kidding me? Okay, cool. At least I did science, so now I know how to get out of there. I had all the safeguards and literally just go, you know, straight down the fucking middle. I'm gonna I did not want to do a 3-hour stream tonight necessarily, just because I had a 3-hour stream yesterday. I'm a little tired. I'm gonna piss myself angry if I end up having a 3-hour stream tonight to end up being like, yeah, this is the run that ends up getting me to the fucking final level. Couldn't have been a run with, you know, more lives or one of the sooner ones. No, it had to be one of the later ones, where hope was already abandoned. And down the sides. Okay. Well, now that's deactivated. I'll start actually conversing about something real once I get done with once I actually beat the boss. Or die. Good to know that thing was on 1 health the entire time. I couldn't get up there. Well, now we have the hardest scenario of Roboiler, where it's just these assholes on the sides that you have to somehow get in. Also, I hella pressed the jump button there, and it just did not want to register it. There we go. Oh, finally, I actually get to go to the machine. On 1 measly life, too. Ugh. Thank you for the congratulation. I really needed it. Oh, wait, we don't get to go to the machine quite yet. We have the Robo Smile. We have the shit of, many kids' nightmares. And the best example of why pinball sucks, actually. I don't know about y'all, but, like, As far as actual pinball tables go, I was never actually a fan of pinball tables. I mean, they're kind of fun and, like, they're a cool piece of art kind of way, but, like, I don't find them fun in a, like, actually fun to play kind of way. For arcade games, I was always more of a Galaga person, Tempest, a little bit of Smash TV, though mostly on, like, not the actual hardware, because, like, that's just a quarter eater. Other stuff that I really enjoy. Enjoyed Centipede to a good bit. Millipede as well, though that's less common. Go Sonic. Ooh, comboed, damn. I forget what you're supposed to do for this one. I think you just need to break his teeth, and then you can actually hit him to break him. But, like, it's always that last tooth. There we go. And Robotnik's head fucking explodes. Maybe I could get an extra life for that game? I ever played Space Cadet plug-and-play pinballs. Okay, actually, I do remember. I loved Space Cadet on, like, old Windows 95 PC. One of my relatives had that, and it was, fun to play while I was bored as shit at her house, so. Alright, so what's the layout of this damn thing again? This is determining where everything is. Okay. Okay, so this is actually what I kind of find forgiving about the machine as a level, all things considered, where it's like, once you get out of the main section there, there's very little that can actually kill you. Like, the only really source of death is the main section in the middle, which is not nothing, but it's also not like, you know, crazy. You don't spend too much time there either. Although, I don't know, I'm sure I'm going to eat my words soon enough, because that's just how comedic timing and karmic retribution works. Did we go through the no, we did not drill our own ears out in the options menu, although we might do that as a conclusion to the stream. Okay, I guess as a topic, I wrote this down. I remembered that I was talking about this to my dad earlier. I am starting to realize that I am finally sick of sandwiches being my go-to lunch option, as they've been my go-to lunch option for almost 20 years now. And I'm just done with it. Even if I found new and creative ways to like add a lot of extra variety over the years. Am I stuck in this loop? Okay. It's just not doing it for me anymore. And like, I'm struggling to think of something that's like, okay, what is also like modular to reduce redundancy, but also like not going to either break the bank or take a shitload of time, like cooking extra food for more leftovers kind of thing. You know, anybody else have suggestions to maybe solve this conundrum of mine? Spin, indeed, there, indeed. You came at a good time when I actually have made progress and haven't been stuck in the same 2 levels for the entirety of the stream, because this game's kind of bullshit. We're in level 3 of 4. We're at the machine. And my goal is to now go get more emeralds and hopefully not die. Isn't the game amazing? Like how you can't actually progress until you hit certain points. I mean, it makes sense. Like they need to have the pinball table like actually be something you can, you know, you have to progress around, and like it has to be like, you know, a map, a stage. I think it's definitely good conceptually, and the design is good for the fact that, yeah, this is reminiscent of a pinball table. Pinball tables are full of that kind of bullshit. and, you know, the bullshit where just all of a sudden your pinball does go away. I just think that you know, the fundamental ideas of pinball kind of suck. Or their fundamental ideas are good. The punishment that it can dole out really sucks. Let's see if I can't open all the cells. Maybe I'll get a huge point bonus for it. I sincerely do love it, but there's so much bullshit. Yeah, no, agreed. Alright, well, that's 2 of them. I don't think I need to be on the left side anymore? I don't know, maybe I should just check all the way up. Also, I will say, the machine's music is... I think it's maybe the most lackluster music of the entire soundtrack. Like, it's good. It's not bad. It's just, like, not that interesting compared to, say, Toxic Caves or the, you know, Lava Powerhouse, the boiler. It's kind of more of a, you know, cool vibes kind of situation rather than a, you know, slamming soundtrack. Alright, got rid of that bastard. Yeah, electrocute the shit out of Sonic. Give me points. That's one of the plugs busted. That's not good. Come on, game. Don't boomerang me right back. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, let's see if I can't time my way in here. I have to wait for the thing to cycle again. They were really aiming for the pinball machine music? I suppose so. I don't know. I've seen a lot of different pinball tables in my lifetime, and there's a lot of things that could be classified as pinball table music. I mean, you know, like, for example, I've seen like I've mostly seen like, you know, various rock band pinball tables, so like, there's an Iron Maiden pinball table I've seen, there's a Rush pinball table I've seen, and they're dope as hell. But, you know, usually those pinball tables are blasting the titular band's music, so it tends not to be this kind of, you know, dinky-dee circuit board electronics kind of music going on. Ah, damn it. I, in fact, did not make it correctly. Oh, where am I going? Oh, well, yep, there's the fucking fate that I should have gotten earlier, probably. Comparing all pinball music to Black Knights. Do I feel like trying again? I don't even think I could beat the game in an hour if I try again. Fuck it, I feel like trying again, even though I know it's not going to work out. Who knows, maybe I'll fucking personal best big dick speedrun it. If anything, everybody's just here now, so I might as well entertain the masses a little bit more. Believe in me, thanks, I don't. Actually, no, that's not true. I do believe in me. I don't believe in this game. I believe in this game sending me, barreling down to an untimely demise as quickly as possible. Can you bet $500 on Roboiler? I don't know who's gonna pay you out. You can do that, but I'm not paying you $500 for me to die where I probably will die. Tails always time. Yeah, I know. It's because, well, okay, y'all are not forcing me. I'm just having fun with conversing with y'all, so. Like, rest assured, I am ready to stop playing this game. It has thoroughly pissed me off enough, but given that everybody seems to be having fun with it, I might as well give it another go. It hasn't pushed me into pure boiling hot rage yet. It's just made me angry and made me want to play something else, but I can play another round and maybe try to, you know, maybe try to redeem some bruised part of my ego. Get the money from Eggman. I think Eggman would promise to pay you in rings, and then he'd probably just be, like, handing you, like, Cheerios or something. All for being such an early bird. Early bird? I don't know if y'all know this, but I have this thing called a JOB job that I gotta go to at 9 to 5. So streaming earlier is not really much, or later is not really much of an option. Just let them take my job easy. That's true. I would love to not be working. That would be great. I have had many, many thoughts this year of, you know, like, I don't really hate my job. I'm just starting to hate the concept of working. Where I'm just like, so I do this every year, and so I do this for 40 years until I die, huh? It's not a bad gig that I'm at, but I would certainly much rather be doing, like, if I'm doing work, I'd rather be, like, doing stream work, you know? Like, actually preparing for stream, making assets, working on the model, that kind of thing. But I'm sure if that was, like, my actual job that I had to spend, you know, a ton of time each day doing, I don't know if that would actually work out well for me. So, streaming as a career is still an iffy idea, but it's starting to become more appealing to me, which is honestly kind of a scary thought. I didn't want video games to become my job. But I don't know. I have no idea what the future holds, and probably it'll just be a thing where it's like, well, I would like to move from current location. Maybe I'm big enough at streaming now to make streaming a good, way for me to be able to move with freedom. Who knows? Expecting to retire with the, yeah. Well, I mean, you know. It's, I'll say this, it's more feasible for me than other people of my generation, given that I am both debt-free and in a master's degree position of a job making pretty good money, so. You're so right, Grim. We need more 40-year-old streamers. That way they can dispel the hag myth. Yeah, it is kind of hard to be, like, you know, streaming once a week and making progress and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's still a regular commitment for you. It's just not one that is, like, I don't know. I mean, it's a smaller regular commitment, right? Like, that's, I guess, just the crux of it. Oh, shit, that was a nice save. I definitely intended that. Well, I know, but the hag... Men can be hags, too. I know nobody calls them that, but I would call men hags as well. When I'm 40 years old and if I'm still on the internet, I'll be disappointed if you're not calling me a salty sea hag. Great, I died on the first level. That's a good omen. All streamers can be separated into Vinnies and Joels. I kind of okay. I will agree with you that you are more of a Joel. I am definitely not much of a Joel, but I don't know if I'm much of a Vinny. I know by process of elimination, and that's how the meme goes. It makes me a Vinny. I don't know if I make funny sounds that often. I yell every once in a while because I get a little angry. But I don't know if I don't know. I guess I make the occasional funny sound. No, you might be onto something actually. Which would you be? Mythical third option. You would be you'd probably be Mike. You'd probably be Mike. Trying to understand the meme. Oh yeah, like Bear, there's like 3 different layers of meme that you're like behind on. Is a lot to catch you up on. I didn't feel a job, fun hobby. Yeah, I mean, I do this honestly as a hobby as well. Crash is donating to my community. Sorry, I'm catching up on old messages. Yeah, definitely, huh? Definitely donating some of my bread to y'all. I mean, in a more serious light, if I do ever get the opportunity to make real merchandise, I do plan to, like, sell things closer to being at cost than maybe others would normally do. As long as I'm still employed and working a 9 to 5, I don't really need the streamer bucks. I'm at that, like, mythical point of almost making 6 figures, but not quite. And once I do start making 6 figures, then I'll start getting judged for being like, so fake 6 figures, or you're only just barely peaking over 100k a year, huh? I don't know if that's gonna do it for me, bud. But yeah, as long as I have an actual job, I'm not really planning on milking the streamer money. Rails Pro, so you can use basic image editing to bring the bit to life. Maybe you could do so. You have access to fucking paint.net. It's free. Go grab it. Go slap a Joel head on top of, Go slap Joel underneath the hairstylings of your Discord profile picture. Commission 8 seconds of bleed the shirt. What? Oh, as in like the TF2 thing? That's a topic change. Yes, okay, so yes, we are on the same page. I think I collected all the emeralds, right? It's time for Scorpius. Let's get back up to Scorpius. And hopefully not die another time on the way there. There we go. Nor dump the dream. Sure, why the fuck not? Go right ahead. As we fight the only boss in the game that apparently I find easy. Which, yeah, no, that makes sense. It should be the easy. It's the first boss that has literally a big text saying, hey, jump in here. Kill him. Call him Sonic because he can't fucking hear anymore. I don't know, outside of the screaming, this game's actually not so bad for the ears, I would have to say. Oh, you get to experience someone's first X7 run tomorrow? Who is it? What poor unfortunate soul is playing X7 tomorrow? Oh. I mean, it's not every day you get to watch somebody condemned to hell. Alright, Robotnik, out of the way. Okay, unfortunately I can't really read the dream thing now that I'm trying to focus on the minigame. Saw the word Nirvana, I'll look at it in a second. Ooh, this one's going well. Hog wild, one might say. Damn it. I dreamt that you trapped in Jigsaw's torture dungeon. I had no choice on that one. I had to play Jeopardy to escape. Actually, I could just pause and read it. The question you were given was, who was the guy from Nirvana that game ended himself? I immediately blurted out Chris Pine, and Jigsaw was so bewildered he gave me a second guess. It was Chris Hemsworth, actually. I love how the dream version of anybody is like 5 times more incompetent than the actual version of somebody. The words just never... The ideas and words just never seem to manifest. Unless you're a lucid dreamer, in which case then the world's your oyster. Please touch that. Please touch that last animal in a cage. I would like the bonus points, thank you. I'm going to need all of them. Alright, and the thing was stuck. Great. Alright, whatever. Dude, you met through Twitch, gonna be hanging out in Discord, a couple of people who don't use it. Basically doing what I did, going through all the Mega Mans. Oh, hell yeah. Don't know why you would ever play any game from the Mega Man X series. Yeah, I wonder who would do that. Only crazy people who want to have another very large series commitment would do such a thing. Let me reset my mouth because I realize it's been a while. Have to be synced up and looking good for my inevitable game over. It's Chris Cobain. Poor Kurt Cobain rolling over in his grave because he can't remember. He can't remember his name in trivia about the worst moment of his life. Well, I hope your Twitch friend ends up having fun with X7. Or who knows, maybe they're one of the crazy ones that think X7 is, like, actually good. Those people do exist. Okay, that was my fault for tilting in the wrong direction, but still, I have the right to be salty about it. Is your friend, like, what game is their favorite X game been so far? Because that might color their opinion of, how they're gonna think of X7. We did rent X7 Blockbuster Resistance, so it's not exactly blind. They played for 30 minutes when they returned it, so, yes, so. Alright, not exactly a glowing review of the game. They're at least mentally somewhat there. I need to get back to just finishing X8's hard mode just for me at some point. I just keep kind of, I don't know, overlooking it. I've been straight up playing basically just Noida lately, and just haven't had the desire to play anything else. I finally got like a run where it's like, oh, I can treat the world as my sandbox for the most part, and just actually do all the weird secrets in the game, and like crazy extra shit. That game is really weird because it's two games in one game. There's a roguelike, just get to the bottom, finish the levels kind of element thing to it, and then there's a totally just like, okay, did you manage to completely break things and get something uber powerful and dig anywhere you want? All right, cool. Now it's a weird survival roguelike exploration. Look at the world, but you're basically playing on hardcore mode. And if you die, you have to do it all over again. It's great fun. Yeah, and playing the US version, so bleh. Maybe as a painful anniversary stream one day, Bear, you could try to actually finish X7 on stream. No, I wouldn't really recommend it seriously to anybody. It's not a game worth playing. Like, X7 is legitimately not just a bad Mega Man game. It's one of the worst games I've ever played. It's not fun. Oh, you did finish it? I thought I could have sworn you like put it down and said, nope, fuck this, I'm not doing this, and just moved right on to X8. Oh well, manufactured bad memory as usual. How am I on one life again already? I guess I did die instantly to this level, and then died once in the first level. Alright, fine. I am getting faster at the game now. I'm about to go into Roll Boiler for the 4th time, only 15 minutes in. So, like, that's good. Nearing the 1-year anniversary of my X6 stream. Well, that is actually pretty funny. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's been that long since then, but I suppose it has. It's cool how much growth we've had since then. We have a lot more regulars around here, and I definitely feel a lot more comfortable streaming nowadays. Like, I still get anxious sometimes before stream, but like it's a lot better now, and I kind of have an idea of maybe, you know, just topics I can talk about and how much I can milk something. Oh, cool, we get to see the cool idea game again. Let's see if this works. Or if I die. Okay. Didn't have much momentum off of that jump this time, but I got to actually get through here. The thing about my friend, you'd rather play X7 than X6. Yeah, that's, I don't know, some people have that opinion. I guess some people would rather be bored than, like, kind of frustrated or trying to break the game. But I don't think that's, I don't agree. Dude, sound gave you anxiety. Yeah, no, I mean, Flame High and Art's not a fun experience. Not a friend's imagination. Don't. Oh god, tulpas. Let's. I don't want to talk about tulpas ever again in my life. I have had bad experiences losing friends because of that, and maybe it makes me insensitive, but I'm not dealing with self-induced DID and having to respect it. I'm sorry. I want you to live a nice life, but I don't have the patience for that. And that's all I'm gonna say on the topic for tonight. Okay, Roboiler, attempt number 4. For the love of God, please let me at least get past it again, so to say I can more consistently make it past this fucking stage. Yeah, if X6 did have good design choices, it would be, like, amazing. Like, simply put, if it's like, well, if you got rid of, like, the bullshit in X6 and, like, finished half of the levels, then, yeah, it would be a great fucking game. As it stands, it's basically just, it's playable for people who just want to have something sloppy and horrible to break, rather than an actually well-polished piece of software. Alright, and I get bounced out again. This boss takes even longer. Woo! Okay, well, got rid of the most annoying one of the heads. Okay. Wait for the steam, otherwise it's gonna troll me. I was trying to move it, game, and then you lagged, and I swear the game lag ate my fucking jump input there. Ugh. Only person in the world who struggles against Roboiler. I think part of it really is just for me that, like, Roboiler is kind of where, like, the game's janky controls kind of really start to, it's stuff like that where if you run too close to the damn steam generating thing, it, like, knocks off your balance, makes you roll. All the janky controls start fighting me again. Potential hot take, Gate's the most interesting secondary X-villain besides Vile, and that Vile's really only interesting since he's got multiple game appearances. Yeah, he's got just a consistent motivation of, I hate you, Mega Man. I hate that blue robot. Gate does have, you know, actual interesting things about him because he, like, has a fuller motivation of, like, you know, I mean, it is still mostly a let's kill all the humans and, again, try to make the fucking Reploid ethno-state for, like, the 3rd time in this series, but maybe 4th, depending on who's counting. But, you know, Gate does have a personality. He does appear and, like, harass you throughout the games. Or throughout X6, so, like, there's something interesting to that. Did we do it? We did it! The 2nd time we get to go to the machine. Now I did it in 20 minutes. I don't know. If I did this stream again, like, tomorrow, I'd probably be able to fucking get through it at this rate. Oh, hell yeah. Time bonus. You're the same guy who just made Nightmare for shits and giggles? I guess. I barely remember what... I guess I don't remember the story of X6 that well. I just remembered it happened in X4. I thought it happened in X5 and X6 again. Just because... ideas. Well, No, it didn't really happen in X5. I thought it was kind of revisited in X6 because they were, again, trying to, like, build a place for robots to exist and live and all that shit again. They just didn't go as hard into it as the Repliforce did in X4. I'm gonna say the literal moment Crash showed up. Yeah, you both of you have powered me separately. Ilvo showed up, and I kind of remembered how to get to the machine, and then Bear showed up, and all of a sudden I can actually get through the boiler fairly quickly. I mean, realistically, it's because I've been at this for 2 hours, and I'm now used to the controls again, but, you know. And the stage layouts. Oh, hi, Dakota. Welcome. Still laughing at Vile's weapons as well as I am Setsuna, beautiful music, cute graphics, and nice content loop. Uh-huh. I'm not entirely sure exactly what you described, but I think that you're trying to say that you're enjoying the cool, cute graphics of this video game and the loop that we're currently in. So yeah, thanks for dropping in. Alright, let's see if I can't get this pain in the ass emerald. Maybe I can loop back into it and actually aim. Positive about I am Setsuna. What is that? I don't know what I am Setsuna is. Is that the composer for this game? Or hey, there we go. Yeah, Sonic Pinball does make sense. I mean, it's be able to go fast and hit things as Sonic, who is Ball. I think Sonic Pinball it does definitely make sense as a concept. It is just kind of a... Oh, it's very irritating in execution. Woo! Fun sound effects. Oh no, now I gotta... Oh, getting back in here is gonna be a giant pain in the ass. So if I want to go back there, I have to go back through the fucking meat grinder. Oh, RPG that you're playing? Okay, sweet. I'm not an RPG kind of nerd. I don't really know much on RPGs. I only ever really enjoyed Earthbound and Mother 3. And I played some Pokemon as a kid, but grew out of that fairly quickly. Music here is pretty fun too. It's a little more boring than the other stages, but you know, I like it. That game is supposed to bring back memories, kind of Chrono Trigger style, but didn't hit the mark. This is not bad though. All right. I haven't even played like some of those classic ones. Like I think playing like Chrono Trigger would actually be kind of fun. Like I've seen gameplay of that. And like, oh, this is actually pretty neat, but it's just never something I've actually put time down to commit to. Maybe someday. But it's definitely not high on the list. I have plenty of other things in the backlog to get to first. Do it, how dare you? One of these days. One of these days the chrono will be triggered. I think the other, I guess if you want to call it an RPG, maybe, like, I think the other one, I know this is also heresy to say, I kind of always get Chrono Trigger and Secret of Mana confused for some reason. I don't know why. They are not the same game, not even fucking close, but, like, I think they just stand out to my mind because they are two games with, like, actually interesting RPG mechanics, one being kind of more real-time RPG, and the other being more like you have... It's a non-grid based positioning RPG, like in Chrono Trigger, and I think that's actually really cool. It's something to, you know, make it more interesting than just turn-based battles. Oh, I just missed the platform. Damn. Okay, I can wait on the platform here. Randy and Chrono are long lost brothers. Are they? Is that real? Or is that real or is that fan theories? Chrono Trigger. Yeah, no, that's the Chicagoan in me. I say O's wrong, and everybody else has to suffer for it. Both are good in their own way. Same brainstorm and smaller projects. Oh, huh. That's an interesting piece of trivia. I never knew that. I guess it does make sense then. They got similar DNA and similar looking protagonists. Original Trials of Mana on SNES serves a Peak RPG. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a one before it. I thought that was on. No, I've got it confused. There's like the sequel, right? On the Game Boy. Or the Game Boy Advance that existed, but never really gained much traction. Yeah, the machine is just... Now that I'm not in the center part where I can die, I remember the machine is just tedious. It's just like getting a proper shot to line up to actually get into the side paths here. Sword of Man is the GB original. Oh, okay. Secrets is a sequel, then Trials is a sequel to Secret. Gotcha. Okay. My mana ordering was all messed up. Oh, that doesn't actually... Fuck. First Writer Brainstorm's got amazing stories. Uh-oh, I wasn't paying attention there for a second. I can't wait to read Ilvo's all caps comment there a second. English Sword of Man is called Final Fantasy Adventure because we need to use the brand to sell the unrelated game. Yeah, that was the thing that got that. Got that renaming. Yeah, RPGs back in the day, you know? It's just like, screw it. Kids only know one brand. Might as well just make them buy the same brand. Adults also only know one brand. Might as well name every electronic product out there than a Nintendo, right? Game Gear? Yeah, that's your stupid little Nintendo thing, Timmy. In one thing I do have a little bit of interest in, actually, is with, Final Fantasy. Like, I have vague interest just because I know that the, oh god, where am I? Okay. Just because, like, I know the story of, like, 6 and 7 is, like, really good. And, like, I kind of have a little bit of interest of wanting to, like, play just for that. But at the same time, it's like I don't know. Maybe I could just get right into the middle of all the series instead of having to go and, you know, play through from 1 and start there. I don't think that that's exactly important from what I've heard about the games, but... You know, maybe one day I'll end up playing 6 and 7. But I think Kafka, that's the not real person. Kafka's the guy who turned into a cockroach in the book, or who wrote that book. Kafka seems like a very interesting villain to me, and with interesting motivations, and, you know, the whole wanting to become a god and human emotions, such sad things, blah 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 blah, villain spiel. That's the kind of villain characterization I like. Oh fuck, I have to get back in here again. This side sucks to clear. I still have to clear the middle side too, or the middle part too. And I didn't even make the jump. Excellent. Please, Sonic, make the jump. Okay, there we go. Final Fantasy IV tends to be a good starting off point for non-RPG fans. It's alright. Good advice to keep in mind. In a series, the Super Mario World hacks. Okay, that's a pretty funny way of discovering it. I think I remember discovering just because of watching, you know, YouTubers during the 2010s, 2020s, or not 2020s, like late 2000s, 2010s. I'm pretty sure like Chugga played Secret of Mana at some point, so I was like, oh, okay, I can get into that. And then fucking everybody and their mother couldn't shut up about like how good the Final Fantasy games were, so I just kind of learned that through cultural osmosis. Yeah, oh yeah, Kefka becomes God. I know that. Oh, fuck. Oh, the machine is a very tedious level. I am remembering why I don't like this level in real time. It's not that it's like extremely difficult and I'm dying constantly. It's that it's so tedious. The moment you get knocked back, you have to do the whole thing over again. Oh, hey, that's nice. Right in the middle. Okay. Water time. Sonic into game over. If I squint my eyes hard enough and look at the comic that actually includes Mega Man and Sonic in the same universe, then it's kind of like, yeah, like I'm playing Mega Man. Alright, I believe I would like to go to the right here. If I could please just go to the right. It would help me accomplish all of my hopes and dreams of getting the last 2 Chaos Emeralds. Currently I need to collect that damn 5th Chaos Emerald, so if I could just please squeeze my way over to that direction. No, not this direction. Goddamn this game. Okay, here we go. I don't even remember where the 5th emerald is. I just know it has to be on this side for symmetry's sake. Oh, not again. Okay, maybe I can just try to jump in the teleport this time then. This might be easier. Oh, okay, it just takes me to a random place. Gave Sonic a gun, then it'd be Mega Man game for sure. Yeah, no, I think Bear's got it with actually he'd be Shadow. At Logic's game, Shadow 5 got into a 3D base game. Yeah, I'd like to see, I would have loved to see more Shadow base interactions. Those two would probably have a lot of funny things to say to each other. Shadow would definitely kind of be like, oh my god, this guy reminds me of me back in the day, but like not in a good way. He doesn't even have anybody that he's fighting for. Like, what gives? He's just like angry at this blue guy. At least I had childhood trauma. Alright, fuck it. I'll take it going to the left. Maybe I can just transfer through the middle. Yes, yeah, you're right, Ilvo. I also need to take the out the cold food when in the hot food. Sorry, going nowhere? Fuck you mean going nowhere? That's like the right spot, I'm pretty sure. I would love to... Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can't do a Shadow doing a King of the Hill or a Hank Hill impression. Darn whippersnapper being a little shit is what he is, I tell you what. That's probably not very good, but I wanted to give it a shot. Oh, right, I can actually look up in this game, which weirdly freezes the platform. Okay, well, I thought that would work differently. Oh no, the stream's tagline. Alright, tough guy, let's see you do better. Sorry, going nowhere, what the... So it doesn't want to transport me into the middle anymore, is what I'm getting from this. Because I already got the Chaos Emerald there. Can't even attempt the proper Hank impression. I mean, I can do a decent Hank Hill impression on its own, but I cannot do a Shadow the Hedgehog. I cannot make that boy Shadow talk like me, I tell you what. That was probably still terrible, but... Alright. Well, I might as well explore what the hell is up here. Maybe it'll get me into the right side a little easier. No, I want to land on the platform. Just let me land on the platform. No! No, I didn't want to hit the bottom of the platform. Yeah, even if I... Oh, God. I kind of hope I don't get to showdown the last stage at this rate, because I am going to have... okay, platform very much not stopped. I guess platform stopped now. Because if I do end up getting through this level, then that means it's like, okay, well, 30 minutes to beat a stage that I'm basically going in blind and is extremely difficult. What? My Crash impression. This is my Crash impression. Or do you mean more like, whoa, that kind of Crash impression? Because like I don't need to practice that one. I've got that one down. Okay, where the fuck does this go again? I think I want to go to the right here. Take me this way. Okay, back to the animal prison. Back to bouncing around here aimlessly until I eventually get drained off to the correct side. Don't think I need to practice myself. Oh, the Grim. Talking to him. Gotcha. I'm scared to do a Crash impression because that would involve me forgetting all forms of media I've engaged with my over 30-year-old life. Damn. I would like to let you know, and I think I have already let you know, but, yeah, your comments about me being a referential black hole does actually live rent-free in my head, because the more I think about it, the more true it is. The more I am, self-conscious, but not to an unhealthy extent about it. That's not the direction I wanted to spin dash. It's just true. I don't know things. I don't know shows. I don't know many movies. I don't know celebrities. I don't know a hell of a lot of music outside of like my genres. I do not know many things. Picture with a mind plague. You gave me a little bit of a cognito hazard, just a little bit. The value. It's not the terminally online thing. See, that's actually the thing I am kind of. I know my fucking memes better than a lot of things, although I still definitely don't know everything. It's more just like references to like, you know, I guess legacy big things that used to tie our cultures together. Things like, I don't know, do you know, like, example, I never watched Drake and Josh as a kid, even though that was a huge thing when I was a kid. I missed everything Disney Channel because I did not enjoy the Disney Channel. I missed most of the 2010s music era because I did not enjoy pop or hip-hop until, like, well, I still don't enjoy all of it, but I enjoy some of it now that I'm an adult. Like, the list can just kind of keep going on and on in just this kind of innocuous manner of, like, yeah, there's a lot of shit that I just missed out on from my generation because I just didn't care. Which I don't really mind that. I'm not feeling like I'm missing out, but it is just kind of funny where it's like, yeah, no, Grim's right. I am very kind of the not knower of things. I guess that's the one interesting streamer shtick. At the very least, it's like, you know, most streamers are like, they don't fucking know how, like, anything science works, and they're like, wait, you mean that power is what my microwave is doing the whole time? That's crazy. It's what it's drawing the whole time? That's nuts. But, so I know science things, but I don't know, like, things. Oh, God, please tell me that I can eventually stop in the middle here. Hand is in my face. Is this the... So I think this is what Proto was warning me about. Given a whole soft block of some kind. Hold on, I think I can maybe gain momentum. Okay, we're not actually soft block. Fine. Ow. Electrocuted. Where the fuck is that damn 5th Chaos Emerald? Okay, it's probably still over to the right if I had to guess. I didn't get a 5th one from that direction. Oh, when the platform wasn't there, and now I gotta get back in here again. This level is like really good at dealing psychic damage to the player. Like, yep, back to the middle once more. You're not dying likely. The only death trap is in the very mid section of the stage. But you are gonna be here forever and ever going in circles. Nope. Didn't wanna do that. Missing 2010's music makes sense. Describe it, Crash, is that my knowledge of references on par with Chugga Conroy's knowledge of common innuendo. Unfortunately, I think that does in fact track, actually. That sounds about right. I did not want it to be true. Oh, there it is. That was easy. Now that I know where it was. But yeah, I miss on a lot of references that I probably shouldn't. Well, shouldn't is a strong word to use, but it's statistically atypical. Yeah. Suspected of the chem knowledge skill tree and pop culture at 1. Why would I need the pop culture skill tree? It's not gonna save my life. It's not gonna teach me how to make explosive ordnance. It's not gonna teach me how to, you know, clean really stubborn hard water stains in my water pitcher, which, yeah, actually, literally my chemistry knowledge is kind of what made me think about how to clean these hard water stains that I have. Like, every once in a while, like, I don't know, where I live, I have extremely fucking hard water, and so, like, there is this kind of just buildup of, like, orange-ish tan kind of minerals in my water pitcher every once in a while. And vinegar does not work to dissolve it. Bleach does not work to dissolve it. Baking soda doesn't. So after that, I actually have to use the random amount of I have a strong cleaning chemical, some sodium sulfamate, some sulfamic acid crystals, that actually gets to a low enough pH in order to dissolve all the hard water stains. Yeah, I'm not a bard. Of course, I don't care about charisma. If I had to stat myself in real life, I swear my charisma stat would be like a -2. I do not have charisma. Yes, something future Crash can deal with. That guy can deal with so many problems that present Crash just does not need to handle at the moment. Now, future Crash really does hate past and present Crash quite a bit, especially when he leaves a lot of dirty dishes lying around that he has to suddenly take care of and, you know, spend his Saturday morning doing. But, you know, past Crash and present Crash are never going to stop investing in future Crash's ability to, like, do shit that they don't want to do. We're doing it, Gary! We're doing it! We're hitting the fucking... the weird, like, glass tube that actually looks more like fencing, like wired tubing. There we go. There's one, and now we can get to the other. Please, give me momentum. Oh, right, there's just a weirdly long cutscene of all the animals escaping. Oh, man, I do not want to go down in the middle. I don't know if that's death instantly down there. I wouldn't put it past this level. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, I could just let the game play. Save your dishes for 1 day a week. Not entirely, but maybe like 2 days, twice a week. Still, I end up having a lot to end up doing. Oh, hell yeah. Free V-try. I end up having a hell of a lot of dishes to do on Saturday mornings. And then also, like, I guess Sunday after I cook, so... oh, right, I have to get into the middle of this fucking thing now. I have to slam it in its penis. I can't go through the vents because I guess they're too small for the big hedgehog body. Not a comfortable loop. Alright, hell yeah. It's a roboticizer, not to be confused with Gammarizer. This boss is like sometimes free and sometimes very like, okay, I can't get in the middle. It won't, like, Sonic won't stay in there no matter what I do. Oh, I think that surge activated is actually the thing that's supposed to save me in the arena. There we go. Hey, look at that. Would you look at that? The attempt where I don't have any time left tonight is the one where I actually make it to the final level. Okay. 3.5 hour stream, here we come, unless I lose all my lives. And 3 lives to spare. I would like to burst your bubble real quick. So the first stream I did of this, I did get to this stage with 5 lives, and I lost them all in a matter of like 50 minutes. Or maybe even less than that, so... Don't get your hopes up, because mine sure aren't. Also, this is my favorite bonus stage in the game. Not only because you get to see a bunch of scratches, but just also the fact that, like, you can sometimes get the ball cut up on the top, and it's like, oh, that's like sexy. So many hits you get to get off on that. It's also a fairly simple objective. It's just hit everything. Have you considered save stating? What? What? Save stating? We play this game like how I did as a kid. Painfully and without cheats, except for that one time where I really needed to discover how the fuck the chain works in the Roboiler fight. I do have fast forward and rewind options, but not using them. Oh, hey Tails. Think you could help me? Purely for stage progress? Oh, to come back to it later? I mean, the thing is that I'm not planning on streaming this next week, so... Or maybe if you mean just, like, practice's sake, which it's not a bad idea. I don't know if this thing has save states. It just has rewinds and forwards as far as I can tell. Because I'm not... So, I'm not playing on a, I should clarify. I am not playing on a emulator. I am, well, sort of. I'm playing on a, I'm using the Steam Sonic Mega Drive Classics, thing that is discontinued now at this point. So, I think I literally... Oh, wait, no, there's a save and load option. Alright, you know what? I will save just so that way I can come practice this in my off time when I eventually die. Oh, wait, nope, that's not what I want. I would like the full screen option. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I know, Ilvo. I don't read things that I don't intend to use. So this is what I was talking about. About how I lose all of my lives instantly at this fucking level. There's no safeguards. And, I don't know, occasionally the flippers just decide to be a bitch and not work. Bust the blocks first. Sure, whatever that means, game. Whatever that means. Dash away. Okay. Hey, it's 1 emerald. I'll take it. That's progress. That's something. I do kind of like how this level is like the one level that does make you do a little bit of platforming. It's fun in that sense because it's like, oh yeah, this is in fact a Sonic game. But also because the fucking controls in this game are so goddamn abysmal, it's one of the hardest challenges that you could possibly ask somebody to do. Okay, well there's one of the emeralds. How do I go get that? Okay. Alright, that's 2 emeralds. Alright, we're onto something. I know that 1 emerald in the center is just an absolute pain in the ass to get because it's locked behind all those steel barriers. But if the other 2 emeralds are not that bad to get, then, you know. What's the eruption timer mean? I'm a little scared. Targets reset? Oh, okay. So progress on one of the things is completely gone. Oh, right, I probably should have been holding the thing up. Okay. I think you're supposed to hit all of the little panels on the side in this section, and that's how you advance. Well, okay. Hey, there's an emerald over there. And there's an emerald up there, too. I need to get out of it and probably get onto a platform to the left. I'm basically doing this blind, by the way. Like, I've seen a speedrun of this game before, but I do not remember any of it. So I'm basically just trying to do this stage off of intuition alone. Okay, well those targets didn't reset, so that's good. It's not the ones that it's talking about. Eruption bonus? Okay, just go ahead and scare the shit out of me, game. Make me think that I did something wrong. Oh, that was close. Okay, so what's down here? That's the emerald. I'm guessing that there is some kind of platform here. Okay, just like the other side. Missed the shot. Not quite. At least this is pretty generous in the number of attempts it gives you. And Sonic doesn't, like, go careening off of the platform if you just aim it right. Oh, well, speaking of careening off the platform. Alright, let's try for this emerald again. Too far to the right. Too far to the right again. Yeah, my commentary at this point is going to just purely be on the game. I am locked in. Please. Please. Boy, this one is a hell of a lot harder to get than the one on the right side. Yeah, let's go gambling! Woo! Basically, it's all this is. pinball jank bullshit. No fucking wall collision. Didn't bother testing it. It's not a platformer. We don't need to test the collision in this game. Oh, and there we go. I'm dead. I missed the fucking quick time event. And like that, it's all over. Great. I hate this level. I fucking hate this level. Alright, whatever. I knew I wasn't going to be able to beat the fucking game. I didn't think it was going to happen, but still. That's the most insulting way that probably could have ended. Literally a clip through the wall into instant death, followed by just missing one simple pinball flip and dying as a result in 10 more seconds after that. So we'll have to have another Sonic Spinball stream one day is what I'm hearing. So, yeah. I've only made it to Showdown twice now. That's the second time, and died about as well. I made it a little longer this time, but still about as quickly. I got a practice save, so that's good, but, you know, I'm just like... I'm not as upset as that one night where I'm like, oh my god, my performance was so horrible, I'm feeling terrible, blah, blah, blah. I'm a little bit... I'm just salty that the game decided that I was no longer allowed to keep playing that way. Like, the game said, no. It just said, no. You're done. So, alright. We're concluding for the night then. Yeah, I wanted to call it anyways. We're 3 hours. I need to get going to bed. So, thanks for coming around, everybody. Please be sure to, you know, like the video and share it and all that stuff, because it really does help the channel and all that. We'll be doing a chem react tomorrow, on, some, like, how making liquid nitrogen at quote-unquote home and some other stuff, so if you want to pop by for that, that'll be great. Other than that, if you're lurking in the background, feel free to join the Discord and come talk to us about stuff. And did I say tomorrow? I meant Thursday, yes. So yeah, come join and we'll talk to you later. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for enjoying Sonic Spinball at my displeasure, at my pain. So have a good night, I'll talk to you later.